I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. What's that, Marcus? Oh, I feel sorry. Yeah, I'm feeling sorry for little old Rishi Sunak, the UK Prime Minister. No, I am not. Sod him. He presided over this government. He assisted, not the last government, the government before. Quite frankly, the man is a scumbag. Sorry, I said it. Yeah, I'm not that woke. No. James O'Brien this morning is trying to make out that he's feeling a little bit sorry for old Richie Sunak because it's been a bit of a train wreck, you see. But quite frankly, he's just being devil's advocate. He's saying what he needs to say to try and get people to call in, provoking emotion from people who either do feel sorry for Richie Sunak or people who clearly do not, and that would be me. I have no sympathy for that man. He stood up there when he became Prime Minister and he says, judge me on my professionalism. He says, I'll be showing integrity, professionalism, he said. And none of it, did we? There's been no integrity, there's been no professionalism. No. It's just been more lies and more deceit. Still pushing our line that Labour's going to cost us all another £2,000. Every family, that is. Blatant lie, been proven to be a lie. He's still pushing it. Well, he made himself look a right old... you know what I'm trying to say. When Beth Rigby asked him about the waiting lists, and he said, yeah, I admit, the waiting lists, they did go up under the Conservative Party. But they're coming down now, he says. They're coming down now. And who did he blame for it? Junior doctors. Not the fact that the junior doctors have not had a pay rise for a very long period of time. And the fact, if you actually look at it, they say 36% pay rise is what they're asking for. But when you consider how little they're getting paid, they're not asking for a lot more. They're asking for about £19 to £20 per hour. I was surprised that was all they were all they were asking for, to be honest. 6 years training to get 20 quid an hour, and then you get these people calling in and say, it's a vocation. It's a blooming job. It's a very responsible job. It requires a huge amount of flipping education, training, etc., and devotion. And you should not have your empathy towards others to be traded. It shouldn't even be a part of it. Everyone should be able to love their job. If it means you're doing good for helping people out, well then, so be it. But it's just a bonus for everybody. And also those who are doing the job, if it makes them feel good about what they're doing. It shouldn't be a bargaining chip for their pay packet. That's ridiculous. So anyway, he blamed the doctors, the junior doctors, and he got an overwhelming boo from the audience. People really don't like him. And the thing is, you see, in politics, you do need to be loved. I'm sorry. I know people are saying, it shouldn't matter. No. Personalities and all that shouldn't matter. Character shouldn't matter. Bloody well does, Charisma. Really does. It really, really matters. These people have got to be able to negotiate with the world, with other leaders. So he needs to be able to win them over, whether it be on an emotional level or whether it be the fact that you're a good politician. We need both. We need good politicians with charisma. It can't just be, we had enough of personalities and stuff. You need personality. You really do. Otherwise, you're just going to, people become disinterested in politics. That's the other dangerous thing, you see. At the moment, considering everything that's been going on since the Brexit referendum, has drawn more and more people, including myself, into politics, being interested in politics to a point where they actually understand it, understand what's going on in the systems and stuff like that, because it's not taught in schools. So It's far as I can see, it's the personalities, the charisma of these people that draw people in to want to know more about politics. You can have a charisma and be a good politician, period. You don't have to be a Rishi Sunak. No, actually, he hasn't got charisma either, has he, really? You don't have to be a Boris Johnson. No. To be a good politician. No. And he clearly failed on that one. It's all about his fluffy hair. Absolutely ridiculous, you see. So, no, I don't have any empathy for Rishi Sunak, or I feel sorry for him, or anything. As far as I'm concerned, I want to see him crash and burn. Metaphorically, obviously. Now, when I was listening to, as it's chalk and cheese, from listening to Rishi Sunak and Keir Starmer, the one standout that's actually going around Twitter at the moment, anyway, that's why I started watching it, was one about Keir Starmer. He stood up there talking about Grimsby having the wind turbines and about putting power back in the hands of the people and local authority. Allow them to make the decisions for themselves on things that matter to them, because they are in the know. Westminster's had too much control. Look what Westminster's doing to Scotland, for instance. Screwing them. You know, left, right and centre. Bleeding them dry. And they wonder why the Scottish people have had enough. Don't blame the Scottish people wanting to leave the Union. You've got some who don't, what have you? And obviously Labour's gaining quite a few votes now, and SNP are not going to be doing quite as well as they have done before. But, you know, if Labour devolves more power to Scotland, well, maybe Scotland will be staying in the Union, not European Union, but in the United Kingdom, longer. Maybe. But you see, all we're seeing from these Tories, including Rishi Sunak, is not integrity. In fact, they've been doing things that are disgusting. Like, for instance, the donor, Frank Hester, who said he'd like to see Diane Abbott shot. People wonder why she says and writes stupid stuff. It's not surprising. She must have a level of discontent there herself. She's been bullied by not just the media, but by the public, by the people. That is sad, when it comes to that. When people bully and death threats, and she's living in fear. And, she has to travel on a bus. That's what she goes around London, she travels on a bus. She sees people, just like, if you talk about a Tory, Amos, who got stabbed. He was only doing his job. He was in surgery. He was actually trying to do his job. And then he got stabbed. You see, when I heard Keir Starmer say about putting it in the hands of the people, maybe, hang on, I can relate to that. Now, I live in France. This is France, okay? Just in case you didn't know. And we have Marys, which are basically little local councils, and every town has a council. Now, you might think it sounds expensive, but the bureaucracy is cheap. It's cheaper because it gets done quickly. We don't have to have discussions about this, that, and the other on relatively small issues. It just gets sorted out. Because the people living here, the mayor, the people who work at the Mary, they know what needs to be done because they live here. They understand. It's already been devolved. Every single town has a Mary, a council. Now, even if it's, like, for instance, our little town's got a Mary, and we've only got 3,000 people in this commune. It's actually less now than it was in World War II. So, the thing is, you see, anyone who visits here and see how the place is looked after, there ain't no potholes. For argument's sake, we haven't got Jonathan Gullis staring down at a pothole. No, or Rishi Sunak come to that. Local control, as Keir Starmer put it, by people who have got skin in the game. And that struck a nerve with me, with Keir Starmer. And I'm not a Keir Starmer fan. Anyone who's watching this channel will know that I'm not. Labour's not a natural party for me. And if I can get my vote in, if they flipping while post works, since Brexit, that's all gone to pot. I'm voting Labour. Not because I actually want to, because it's just logical to do so. It's tactical voting. I wish it wasn't the case. I wish it made sense. I wish we had proportional representation, because I'd be voting for something else. It wouldn't be Conservative, it wouldn't be Reform, it wouldn't even, possibly not the Lib Dems. It'd probably be Green, providing that the representative, in the broad layer that I am, talks sense. None of this madness, I mean actual common sense, where business and green issues can work together, such as a green economy, for instance. But I was pleasantly surprised when Keir Starmer was up there on his own without Rishi Sunak talking over him, literally just shouting over him, really, you could say. Just like Penny Mordaunt was doing in the debate, and Nigel Farage. He was allowed to talk and get his point across. You see, when these politicians are doing their jobs, they're not in a situation where they've got like in a shouting match. That's not what they do. They have a discussion, or they put delegates to have those discussions. So for me, I was pleasantly surprised, and no, I do not care for Rishi Sunak. That man's got about 700 odd million that we know about, and then there's the rest. That man has been ripping the country off. So to have sympathy for somebody who is, clearly, as far as I'm concerned, is a criminal and should be locked up, along with Boris Johnson and the others. I just find it absolute just madness, delusion, cognitive dissonance to suggest otherwise, to have any love for Rishi Sunak. And don't tell me furlough. Talk to the people who didn't actually get any support whatsoever. They just had to survive, somehow. Talk to the businesses that have failed, left, right and centre, because of Rishi Sunak. And, Keir Starmer is going to have one hell of a difficult time as Prime Minister. Obviously, he's got a massive problem to solve. He's got a massive black hole in the finances. And he's got a right-wing media bias, who is going to make his life an absolute misery. Because obviously they want a right-wing government. Although you could argue he's getting a bit close to that now, but Oh, dear. Anyway, I suppose, short story long, Rishi Sunak deserves everything that's coming to him, and I would like to see him go to jail. Okay, but that ain't going to happen, I know. They never do they? Anyway, you tell me, how do you feel about Rishi Sunak? Did you feel a little bit sorry for him? Leave in the comments down below. And we're doing rewilding here in France, where we're planting 1,000 trees on 2 hectares of land, and I finally managed to cut the grass. Got to go over it one more time, and then I can start with more trees in the blooming ground. So we need to get this section here done here next. Yeah, done 500 so far, and we've got a shitload more to do. So, toodaloo. Anyway, go find me link down below. If you want a tree, we'll put a tree in your ground on your behalf, and I'll make a sign with my laser. I just had another laser delivered today, so I've got 3 lasers now. Didn't buy them. I just forward to the channel. People keep sending me lasers. Anyway, toodaloo. There's links down below anyway. Have a lovely day. Beep the like button, will you?